of racism is not to control black folks, lock them up, kill them, or oppress them. The goal of racism is to exterminate the genotype, to prevent you from procreating. There was an article that came out about 3 weeks ago. They said for the first time in black America, teenage pregnancy is down. For the first time in about 40 years, since Dr. King's assassination. And they're scrambling to find out why. I know exactly why it's down. It's down because the birth control that you give most of the young black teenagers is designed to prevent them from ovulating ever again. The Noraplant and the pills that they're giving them, it's messing them up. And then on top of that, you have your highest number of black gay males of all time, and your highest number of black lesbian females of all time. So if you can convince, as Barack Obama so excellently did, convince black boys to date each other and convince black girls to date each other, there can be no conception. So part of the whole push for homosexuality in the first place was to reduce the numbers. And now teenage pregnancy is down. I was in Lesotho. So the goal of racism is not to control black folks, lock them up, kill them, or oppress them. The goal of racism is to exterminate the genotype, to prevent you from procreating. There was an article that came out about 3 weeks ago. They said for the first time in black America, teenage pregnancy is down. For the first time in about 40 years, since Dr. King's assassination. And they're scrambling to find out why. I know exactly why it's down. It's down because the birth control that you give most of the young black teenagers is designed to prevent them from ovulating ever again. The Noraplant and the pills that they're giving them, it's messing them up. And then on top of that.
So Dr. Umar Johnson seems disappointed that black teenage girls are not getting pregnant at the rates that they once were. Yeah, let's unpack that. First of all, black teenage girls were mainly getting pregnant by adult black males. They were easy prey because they did not have a father in the home and the mother was out working. And the old pervs, Chester the molesters, were fully aware that these girls were in a very, very vulnerable state because of the dynamics of the black community. But, let the mammies and the dusties tell it, these girls was grown and fast and knew what they were doing. Not only was a majority of the girls being impregnated by adult males, a large percentage were also relegated to poverty, them and their children. The same welfare system that you guys are saying snatched your little raggedy selves out of the home, yeah, they were relegated to that system because they didn't have a means to provide for their children because they were still in high school. And we know the old pervs normally didn't stick around to help them raise their children, and they certainly weren't being prosecuted for what they had done to these young girls. And not only that, being a teen mother severely increases the risk of high school dropouts, STIs, preeclampsia, low birth weight of the infant, if not death of the infant. Also, it increases the risk of raising your children in poverty for a very long period of time, if not for their entire childhood. It also increases the risk that your daughters will also become teen moms. And not to mention the fact that these men are so against black women receiving what they are calling government handouts, but you have the nerve to question why teens are no longer having children. What exactly do you think these teens are going to do to raise these children? What money do you think they have? They will absolutely need the handouts that you say that you hate so much from the government. That welfare system that you say that you hate so much that snatched you up out the house. The food stamps that helped feed a large amount of y'all when y'all was growing up. The child care system that the mothers will undoubtedly need to finish high school, if not go to college. The Medicaid card so that her children are able to see a doctor and get regular dental visits and get their vaccinations if that's what she wants. And not to mention the broken families. The majority of the teen pregnancies in the last 40 years have not resulted in marriages. I want to say the vast majority, over like 99% of them, have not resulted in marriages. And you guys say that black women are the cause of broken homes, but you sit on your little podcast and state that you are wondering why the teen pregnancy rate has went down, and that is the cause of the white system, the white medical system to be exact, pushing birth control on black teenage girls in an effort to make them sterile? Like, are you serious? These are the same teenage girls who turn into adult women who you say are used goods because they have had a child by a black man. You know, the same girls that you guys are dragging all over the internet who said didn't have any impulse control, the ones who you said chose wrong, the ones who you said have destroyed the entire community. And now you sit again on your little funky podcast and say that these girls need to start back having babies. Is that your solution? Is that your dog whistle to black adult males to start back getting these girls pregnant? I think that's what you're trying to imply, Mr. Dr. Umar Johnson. Because the thing is, they see that black women that are 25 and older at this point are waking up to the mind fuck that we've been in for so many years, so many decades, so many centuries, with the delusion of black love being the most beneficial for us and our children. We have been under such a hypnotism that it has been detrimental to our own health, to our own self care, to our own growth as a woman, and it has also been detrimental to our children that we have brought into this community under the depraved mindset of the black male. So, since they can no longer control and manipulate a large percentage of the women that are adults that are 25 and older, they want to go back to snatching up the teen girls starting at around 12. I won't even say teens, the girls starting around 12 years old, and trying to manipulate them into having their children and starting families with them so they can just repeat the cycle that they had been repeating in the past of knocking them up and having a bunch of their little rowdy babies running all around that are at increased risk of everything horrible that you can possibly imagine. But these men don't care as long as they are able to control and manipulate black women, all while at the same time stating their disdain for them and their children. But hey, they don't have anybody else that they can control. They don't have anybody else that they believe is under them. So their mindset will always be to punch down, kick down, stomp down the person that they believe is under them, which is the black woman and the black child. So no, Mr. Dr. Umar Johnson, we will not go back to black teen girls pushing out babies like it's going out of style. I remember back in the 90s, the mid 90s, when I started high school, it was very normal to see a black teen girl in each class that was pregnant. Several black teen girls starting at the age, really starting in middle school around eighth grade. It was very normal to see black girls pregnant throughout their high school years. I mean, you would see some that would literally have about 2 or 3 before they even graduated high school. So I am very, very happy that that statistic has decreased because it needed to be decreased. Having children as a teen mom, and I'm shout out to all the people who were able to still persevere, who had children as teen moms, and this is not a all comment, so don't take it to heart. Don't say, well, I have an auntie, or I was able to have to have children as a teen and still overcome poverty. That's not what I'm stating. I'm stating that the likelihood of really bad statistics happening to your children and yourself as a teen mom is severely increased. So any male who will sit on a podcast and tell you that the issue right now going on is that teens aren't having children at the rate that they used to is only someone who's looking out for his own best interest and the folks who look like him. He does not care anything about these girls or the children and how their lives will be affected in the long run. He's just looking to increase the numbers within the black community, but not the quality of the life that is being had within the black community. And we all know that Dr. Umar Johnson, even though he is a highly educated man, never married any of the mother of his children, and indeed is attempting to widely persuade black women into polygamous. marriages with men who can't even afford one family, let alone multiple families. Instead of just telling black women to go where you are loved, go where you are appreciated, and build strong bonds, relationships, and marriages with folks who are able to provide for you and your children and who will not attempt to stint your growth simply because of their own shortcomings and insecurities as a man. So, no, Dr. Umar Johnson, we do not want our teen girls being baby mamas to any of your dusty male counterparts or any male for that matter. We want our girls to be able to pursue life, pursue happiness, and to be able to mature enough where they are at a point in their lives where they feel comfortable enough to produce and help raise and nurture a family and children if that is what they want, instead of being taken advantage of as a young person and being persuaded to have a child with a man twice, if not more, of their age, and believing that that is normal. And again, only to become adult women later on in life and be told that they are disgusting and of no value and have created the problem within the community after being impregnated by the men in the community. So again, it's a hell no for me. And I will be one of those mothers who puts her teen daughter on birth control to help prevent her from having any dusty derelicts children, because we can talk to our children till they're blue in the face. They will make a determination on who they choose to be with, but if I can prevent a pregnancy, I absolutely will attempt to. So, Umar, if you thought that you would be able to gain back the control of the black community by impregnating our pregnant daughters, sisters, and cousins, no, no, sir. We are going to speak so loudly in an attempt to drown out the mammies and the dusties that your inner eardrum will pop. We are not letting you go back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s where you got our girls pregnant without any consequences and without any pushback. It was literally ignored within the community that these girls were getting pregnant by these adult men. No more, sir. And even if it is a male of her own age, we don't want our daughters pregnant by your dusty sons either. But we do have somebody for you. They're right up your alley.
Niggas at? Where's the hood niggas? Hey, I'm looking for the hood niggas. Come on, come with me. I'm looking for the hood niggas. Where's the hood niggas? Ooh, where's the trap niggas? You got to be selling that work, bitch. Where you at? You got to be selling them motherfucking kilos. Where's the hood niggas? I'm open and available, bitch. I prefer chocolate. Where the hood niggas at?
Thank you for watching my video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment so that I know if you enjoyed the commentary. Thanks again.